We are back to talking about $1 million careers. And as always, I've got my good buddy, Rob Houghton, here with me. Rob's up in Fairfax, Virginia area. And it's Monday. Wow. June 20th, almost the first day of summer. This year's gone by quick, Rob. What about you?
Good. Everything is good. Been playing a little bit of golf, celebrated Father's Day. It's all good. Perfect weather last week. I can't complain. And you're right. This summer is getting away from us.
This year has gone by so freaking fast.
It really has. It seemed like it was just January, man.
I know. We're celebrating the New Year, ringing the New Year, and now we are now halfway through it. Got to get back to work, I guess. I don't know, but
exactly. I got all kinds of meetings scheduled today, and somebody told me yesterday, Rob, it's Juneteenth Day, man. Everything's closed. And sure enough,
everything is closed.
Everything is closed. I got like 8 meetings on my schedule here.
I went to the gym this morning, and there was like nobody there. I was like, wow, it's Monday morning. It's usually packed. Like, nobody there. Like, all right, it's a holiday. So,
but I love holidays for the same reason I love Sundays, and the same reason I love Friday nights. It's because I work during those times because I know my competition's screwing around.
Yep.
Screwing around. They're not working. Today is a great example. Everybody's out having fun. I'm working, man.
I'm working too. Here we are.
I'm going to probably put 14, 15 hours in today.
Here we go. I don't know if I'll put that much in, but it'll be a busy day. So it'll be a busy day. Anyway, so I read an article last night. I think it was on CNBC. Can't remember where I read it. And it said, it's interesting. You want to advance your career, quit gossiping.
Love it.
Quit gossiping about your coworkers. I'm like, yeah, you think about it. Yep, that's pretty much it. But then I took it a little further. And this is what I'm a big thing about. It's do your job. And I was looking at this picture, and it showed 6 Navy SEALs carrying a log. And I was going to write a blog on it, and I didn't. I should. But it was 6 Navy SEALs carrying a log. And you think about that log, and it's divided up. The weight of that log is divided up by 6 people. One person falls out. Now 5 people got to carry that weight. 2 people fall out. It's now 4 people. So you think about when, you're not carrying your weight, somebody else has to pick it up and carry it. And what does that do to your teammates? I guess it's just being a good teammate. All of a sudden now they get pissed off. They'll carry you for a while. One person, hey, look, we'll carry him for a while, but then that log gets heavy and that burden gets heavy. Then 2 people, that burden gets heavy.
Sure.
And eventually they're willing to carry that person for a while because everybody stumbles, everybody falls. But eventually they're going to say, hey, wait a minute, we got to go find somebody else.
Yeah.
And I think
it's a lonely feeling, man.
And I think that's business. Everybody wants the kinder, gentler business. And I get it. When somebody, life gets in the way, right? You get sick, kids, travel, whatever, family, health.
Yeah.
And people stumble, and your coworkers are in general, ready, willing, and able to pick up the slack. But when it becomes a chronic condition, they're starting to say, hey, maybe we need to go find somebody else.
Yeah. Well, it's like Tom Brady, Hall of Fame quarterback for the New England Patriots. He shows up the first day out of Michigan, 7th round pick, I think. And he was always kind of a gawky kid. He's kind of stumbling around Patriots training camp his first year. And Belichick sees him, and their eyes meet. And Belichick yells over to Brady, hey, do your job. And apparently, I wasn't there, obviously, but the story goes, Brady kind of looked at him a little bit confused, and Belichick picked up a football and just fired at him. And Brady caught it. And Belichick said, do your job, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Brady still remembers that.
Yep.
Still remembers that to today. Brady's one of Brady's big mantras is do your job. Yep. And as a leader of the Patriots and now the Bucks, people say that he still says that, like, do your job, man.
Do your job. I love it. On aircraft carriers.
Yeah.
If you go on the
Great
flight deck
example.
of an aircraft carrier, everybody wears a shirt that's a different color.
Yep. Yep.
Green shirts, brown shirts, blue shirts, purple shirts, yellow shirts, white shirts, green shirts.
Yep.
And that shirt determines what your job is on that flight deck. And you're there to do your job. The job that you're there to do is your job, not somebody else's job. Not the job that you'd rather do. You don't do the job that you'd rather do. You do your job. And it's, why do you do it that way? One, it's safer because everybody knows, hey, look, who's got what. It's a very dangerous environment there. So they know it's like, hey, look, this is my job. I am there to, I'm the launch and arresting gear person. I am the safety person. I'm crash and fire person. So everybody knows who's got what their responsibility is. And they're all willing to, they're already willing and able to do it. But, the crazy thing is now is, see where Elon Musk just fired some
I love
people?
that, man.
Yeah, I did too.
Just fired him.
Yep. They're creating hate and discontent.
He fired them from Twitter or what?
They wrote an open letter criticizing his leadership. And I'm like, it's pretty arrogant to write an open letter publicly criticizing your boss. How would you like it if your boss wrote an open letter criticizing you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think who else did the same thing? Who else just fired some people for writing an open letter?
I saw it in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, I did too. It's and hey, look, you got to go. Yeah, you this isn't. I don't think it's creating. Was it Coinbase? Coinbase did that. Well, but Coinbase is a colossal mess anyway. So but nonetheless, I don't think you're doing anybody any favors when you write open letters criticizing your management.
Yeah, you do your job first, and then you can write the letter.
Do your job first, and then you write the letter.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's carrying your weight.
Well, you gave the example of the SEALs, so I'll turn the page over to the Army. And so the Army Special Forces, they have a 18 series Bravo. So every SF team has 12 individuals. All their functions are duplicated. So they have an 18 Bravo, who is the weapons guy. 18 Charlie is the engineer and the guy that does all the bombs and builds things.
Mm-hmm.
18 Delta is the emergency medical guy. And 18 Echo is the communications guy. And they have a senior and a junior. Same thing as the Navy. These guys have one job they have to do. Now, they are cross-trained, but they know exactly what has to be done on a team. There's never any arguing and discussion about, well, who's going to be the medical guy or who's going to be the weapons guy. That's already been predetermined. They've already been trained in those individual areas. And their mantra is the same thing. It's just do your job, man.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anything, so going back to the original statement, how to grow your career, quit gossiping quit gossiping. And I think it's right. When you're going and you're gossiping, what are you doing? You're eroding team values.
Yeah.
And you're going in and you're saying, hey, look at Joe and Mary, they're not, well, what about you? And you think about what is that when you're talking about other people in a negative light? What does that say about you?
Yeah.
Who's talking about you? Or are you really knocking it out of the park to the point where you're allowed to talk smack about other people? Or are you just a mediocre performer trying to look better by talking smack about other people?
Of course. Yeah.
And I think it comes down to nobody ever, making other people look bad doesn't make you better. It just erodes the organization.
Those people become what we call in sports a locker room cancer.
A locker room cancer.
Every company has these locker room cancers. I think back to the organizations I used to work in. Mm-hmm. You always had a locker room cancer.
Yeah.
People bad-mouthing other people.
Yep.
I think the opposite side of the same coin is talking about Navy SEALs again, Jocko Willem, extreme ownership.
Yep.
That's the opposite side of the same coin. I mean, you take somebody who is gossiping, whining, complaining, The opposite is somebody who makes a mistake, whatever, and they extremely own what they do. They're accountable.
Yeah.
Those are the company. Those are the leaders that a company needs. Those are the people.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme ownership.
Did you hear about the gas station attendant in LA?
No, I didn't. What happened?
Accidentally set the pumps to 69 cents.
Really?
He ran the gas, he was the manager of the gas station. And he accidentally made a mistake. He accidentally set the pumps at 69 cents. Well, everybody takes it. Yeah, of course, it's LA, downtown LA. And,
Really?
Everybody decides, hey, look, we know it's $6.90 a gallon, but, whatever, somebody made a mistake. So we're going to go take advantage of that mistake. Well, the guy cost the owner of the station $20,000. The owner of the station fires him. And the guy says, you know what, I'm going to pay him back because ultimately it was my responsibility. Look, the owner of the station, I can understand, he's mad, but I appreciate the guy going, hey, it's my error. I did it. I was responsible for it. That's
there's probably some rich guy out there that probably read that article and said, I'm going to stroke that guy a check for 20 grand.
There is.
He did the right thing. There is, right?
Absolutely.
Some big rancher in Montana or something.
Just some working stiff, who makes a mistake. And all of a sudden, by the time he realizes what the mistake is, it's like, wow. But I have respect for that because, hey, it was my responsibility. I messed it up. I blew it. It's on me. But that's what you want. And you talk about the locker room cancer. If you're a leader in the organization, if you really want to help the organization, you find the cancer, you root it out, you kill it off, you get rid of it, you get it out of the organization.
I think this is why having a leader in the locker room or a competent leader or leaders in organizations is because people don't tend to take on that behavior when there's true leadership in an organization.
Right.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yep.
Like on a military team or a squad or a company level, if there's a strong leader, there's usually a real void of that kind of complaining and whining and stuff. So a lot of it, actually goes back to if you have a strong leader in an organization, you can really mitigate that possibility of there being whiners and complainers. If it's a rudderless organization or a sports team, people tend to,
because you're frustrated. It's like the Bad News Bears. There's no leadership. There's no, there's just finger pointing.
Yeah.
Everybody's going 100 different ways. But then you put somebody in there who gets their arm around and says, all right, we're going to make organization of this chaos. Now, when somebody comes in and does that, you're going to have 10% of your people that don't want buy-in. They don't want to buy in.
I'll give you a couple of examples. So the Dallas Cowboys football team, it's a great storied franchise.
Yeah.
They've got Jerry World, this huge stadium and everything, but they've never had a leader on that team. They've got great talent, great stadium, great fans. But if you look at their roster, there's no leaders on that team. Then you look at other teams like the Tampa Bay Bucks. They got Brady, right? Great leader. They go to the Super Bowl and win it, right?
Yep.
I think they won it. Andy Reid, great leader.
Mahomes,
the Chiefs.
Mahomes,
great leader.
Just shows up. He shows up, does his job.
He's in the community. Mahomes, he just does his job, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you have to respect that.
Shows up. No, he's in the community.
He's in the community.
He's in Kansas City. He becomes a part of Kansas City.
I think the people at Kansas City really love that guy too.
Yep.
He's very popular, I think.
But that comes down to another issue. I was talking to the CEO of this company, and we're talking about, look, this work from home stuff. So I talked to a guy not too long ago. I've got a CEO search I'm working on. And I call a fellow up and I said, hey, look, I've got a CEO search I'm working on, just starting out. It's in Charlotte. Will you go to Charlotte? And his answer back is, no, I won't. I'll like me and all of my contemporaries will tell you, I will commute, but I'm not moving. Okay. So here's what you just told all the people who will be underneath you. I am too good to move to Charlotte.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I will show up on Monday. I will leave on Friday. I don't care that much about you. I don't care much about your community. I don't care that much about the business, but I'm a great leader. And those are not, in sync messages. I will show up Monday through Friday because I'm not moving my family.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that do that.
Yeah.
But they're not leaders. You got to show up, man.
Yeah.
You got to be committed. You got to own it.
You got to be there.
So where does all this lead, do you think, with the remote work? Is this going to promote a culture of people being absent all the time and not being able to really, develop that winning culture of accountability? Or what do you think?
I think it's going to come to a lot of different things. The work from home thing. Hey, look, I can understand, if you live in Chicago, Washington, you're in sales, you're kind of an APAR, you're out on the road talking to customers all the time. You're an APAR, you're really just doing invoices, not really, working with people. A lot of that stuff can be work from home. If you're in a role that requires a lot of collaboration, or you're managing a factory floor or some sort of manufacturing facility, that's a different story. Because I don't know how you can lead people or manage people that got to be there when you yourself don't show up.
I'll give you an example. So my Green Beret son, right? He's got a job. He's been promoted multiple times in the last year with General Dynamics. And he tells me, he says, I'm the only guy that shows up at work, It's all the executives are there, right? Because they have to be, right. All the VPs and the SVPs. He's a program manager. And he says, it's amazing. There's like 6 or 7 guys at his previous level. And he said, all I do is I show up a couple of times a week and everybody appreciates it. I know what's going on. I know all the personalities. He got promoted, 6 months ago, then he just got promoted again up to the next level.
Right.
And he's a smart guy and everything, but I'm sure that one of the reasons is because he actually goes to the office at least a couple of times a week.
Yeah. There's
people there that haven't been in the office in months.
What's the old Yogi Berra line? 60% is just showing up.
Exactly.
Just showing up. Yeah. Oh, we can do it all by Slack. Yeah. I can do it all by Slack. Oh, bullshit. I think about I was going to write it. Some guy wrote me a crappy email last night. I was going to respond to it. I was like, oh, yeah. Monday morning. I was going to respond to it. And I just wrote back. I said, let's just talk about this tomorrow. I'll call you. You can't do stuff by Slack and email, text.
Yeah.
Let's get real. Half the world's problems are because Instagram. And people are mean to each other on Instagram and Facebook. You get rid of Instagram and Facebook, I think half the world's problems go away, quite frankly. But it's about showing up, carrying your weight, being a positive influence, quit gossiping, and do your job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a very complicated. It's not a very complicated equation.
Yeah, I think the gossiping definitely gets a lot of people in trouble. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, if you have a problem with somebody has a problem with me, all you got to do is call me on the phone.
Roads organizations.
In special operations, how you would solve problems is there always seemed to be a gravel parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Outside the office, You just say, hey, dude, let's just go out to it was like this saying that got passed down from like generations and generations. Hey, dude, okay, I guess we need to go out to the gravel parking lot.
Yeah.
And you would just fight it out, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big, I'm not a big fan of, like you can't, it is what it is, but it's like, hey, air your issue,
Yeah.
quit talking about Joe and Sally, worry about yourself, carry your weight, be a leader in your organization. And that's the $1 million career person.
Yeah.
That's the $1 million career person. They get it.
You know what? I think a lot of it is too, is that I think people that now this is a generalization, but I found this to be true, that typically people that come from competitive backgrounds, either in sports or the military. In the military, special operations or a naval aviator or something that's at the a top level position. People that come from those backgrounds tend not to make those same mistakes.
I agree.
It's the guy or the gal that's been coddled, never really did anything, kind of coasted, everything was given to them. They get into a company, things aren't going right, they start gossiping.
Yep.
They don't have the character, And that's why I think it's so important for the people listening out there is, get involved with competitive individual or team sports, serve your country in the military, because you develop some really good habits that are going to take you a long way, and they're going to separate you from your typical civilian out there.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree.
Don't you think so?
I totally agree. I think competitiveness is good. I think competitiveness to a point is good. The desire for constant improvement is good. It's not about being better than the next person. It's about being a little better tomorrow than you were yesterday. And it's that personal satisfaction of, hey, tomorrow I'll be a little bit better than I was yesterday.
You're exactly right. When I would train these and mentor SF guys, there was sort of this thing that a good portion of these guys would think, and it was like, I want to be the best of the best.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it was from the first Top Gun. Tom Cruise would say that all the time. Iceman and Maverick, it was always like, I want to be the best of the best.
Right.
Okay, that's fine. But in real life, I used to tell these guys, if you're going to be the best of the best, you're going to be chasing the ghost. You just be the best that you can possibly be. Yeah. You get a little bit better every day. That's what creates an unbelievable team, man. Forget about this best of the best. It's all bullshit.
Everybody brings
best that you can be, man.
Everybody brings different skills to the organization.
Exactly.
I can't do finance. I can't do Excel. Somebody else can. Somebody else is a finance person. I'm better at sales. People that wouldn't pick up a phone to do a sale if their life depended on it. So that's my skill set. They've got better finance skills, or they've got better manufacturing operations skills. Everybody brings something to the table. And the question is like, hey, look, quit gossiping, quit bitching, be the best, be a little better you can today. Show up. Those are the $1 million careers.
Yeah. The other thing about the gossiping is that whenever somebody gossips around me, my first thought is, I wonder what this person is saying about me when I'm
exactly
not around, right?
Yeah, man. You know it.
That Rob, man, that guy is off the reservation. He's uncontrollable. He's irreverent. You got to be careful of him. He's a wild card. He's a singleton. He's a lone ranger.
Yep.
What are these guys going to say about me?
Yep.
Of course, all that's true, but if I'm going to, that's not for somebody else to say.
Right. You just show up and be, like I said, show up, be a positive influence, be a leader, pull your weight, help your teammates. That's how you grow.
Yeah. Well, just for the record, Craig, I've never said anything bad about you behind your back.
No. We're buddies. How do people get hold of you, Rob?
Yeah, exactly. Never say anything bad about you, dude. No. Never. So that's a good discussion, man.
It's good. Yeah, no, I was reading these articles. Like I said, I was reading these articles. I was like, they make a lot of sense. Quit gossiping. It's just show up, pull your weight. I love, Wall Street Journal, CNBC. I love just, the little tidbits. And can bring them onto this podcast, talking about them a little bit more.
Yeah. We should do that, man.
We do. That's what we did today.
We should get Kramer on here.
No, I don't like that guy.
You know, like Kramer.
That guy's lost me more money than.
He's very entertaining, though, isn't he?
He's a great entertainer, but yeah, he's out there going buy. Next thing you know, the market just fell 30%. You're like, oh, great, thanks, Kramer, appreciate you.
Kramer, man, yeah, he is an interesting guy. Yeah, so all right, dude. Well,
how do people get a hold of you?
Gossiping, yeah. So people can get a hold of me by Rob, R-O-B, at mrfairfax.com. My email is rhoughton at mrfairfax.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm all over the place, man.
And Rob's got a great blog. So get on his LinkedIn profile, read his blog, subscribe to it. And all good.
Good seeing you again, Craig.
Hey, have a happy week. Happy Monday.
All right, man. Thanks. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.